Pokemon Horizons episode 5 released on Friday. Sorry, my review is a little late, but there was a ton of news on Saturday and Sunday. No, there's a lot of news on Saturday, and on Sunday I was busy with a lot of things in my personal life. But I finally watched the episode tonight, and I'm here to give my review. The episode is titled I Found You, Fuecoco. And the summary is Roy has come to the Rising Voltecler's airship with a desire to see Fuecoco again, but a streak of bad luck results in him not being able to do so. Now it's almost time for the airship to set off. Will the two be able to see each other again? Meanwhile, a submarine belonging to Amethyos explorers approaches the airship. This summary is sourced from PocketMonster.net, specifically from Adamant. So, out of the 4 episodes we've seen so far, I think, no, 5. Compared to the previous 4 episodes, I think this episode is the weakest one. Definitely in terms of story and animation. Story-wise, this episode is Roy is basically trying to he wants to see Fuecoco again. This episode is basically building up to him catching it, them becoming partners, stuff like that. This episode is also the beginning of the explorers and the Voltecler's next confrontation, which will climax in the next episode. Most of the episode though is basically it's basically a character for Roy, character progression for Roy. And all of that stuff is good though. All that stuff is good. I do love the moment him and Liko have where they Roy is wondering how what Fuecoco thinks about him. Like, what is he thinking right now? Liko had the same problem in episode 1, so of course she knows how he's feeling. He knows how he's feeling, and she helps him, feel better about it. I like all the character moments like that. I do like later in the episode, like I mentioned, let me get into this. The explorers do show up. They do show up here. Of course, they already said next episode they were coming, and they're here, and they find the ship. They start battling, stuff like that. So I really do like the moment in the battle where I think this moment is a little weird though. I thought it was kind of weird how what's his name, Roy and Fuecoco. It starts to battle one of Amethio's men, and Fuecoco has no moves, right? It commands Roy commands Amber, and he can't use it, right? So it can't use the move. And so basically for it to motivate it to build up the strength to use the move, they sing the song they've been singing, and there's this whole musical number or this whole insert song. And I do like the song. Like it was a really, really good moment to me. I really do like the moment. It does feel like a little kind of weird. Like it does kind of take you out of the battle. Like this is supposed to be a battle. Kind of does take you out of it a little bit, but it is a cute moment. It definitely, the song has been like a constant already. It's how they met. It's been in this episode. Roy's sung it a million times already, so it is a really cute moment. It really is a cute moment for them. Good character moment, definitely. But it is a little weird. It's kind of weird that it shows up like that, like how it does. But it is a good moment. It's a good moment. Character wise, the main characters, like I said, Roy, Fuecoco, Liko, and Sprigatito are also here. Sprigatito kind of doesn't really do anything. He really doesn't do much. There's also something I noticed too, how they like Liko and Roy literally just one-shotted their Pokemon. They Amethio's goons, they one-shot all their Pokemon, which is crazy because before they battled, Liko and Roy battled them, they battled the crew. They battled Murdoch and Orino, I think that's how you say her name. They battled them and they beat them. So So Liko and Roy are stronger than them. I think that's kind of weird, especially since Sprigatito and Fuecoco, they only know like one move. Fuecoco barely knows a move. Like he couldn't even use Amber at first, so I think that was kind of weird. Kind of weird. I mean, I get it for like character wise. I understand it, but I think it's a little weird. That's what I was like, why? That's kind of weird. But and animation wise too, let's get into that. This episode's not really that. It's not good compared to what we got before. What we got before. Of course, not every episode's gonna be a banger in the animation department. You know, not every episode's gonna be amazing. Not every episode's gonna look amazing. But this episode is just, it doesn't look that good. It's kind of stiff. Like it's just fine. Like it's fine. It's fine. This episode is that's how I just describe the episode. It's kind of fine. Like it sets up the end of the episode. The explorers there, they making their move. They confronted the Volt Tacklers, and they're after that pendant. And what's his name? Freed and Amethio have a battle, and the episode ends with Freed's taken off guard because Roy used the move on him, and he's caught off guard by that. He's looking at that, and of course, Amethio, and constantly through the battle, he's like, "Oh, stop taking your eyes on me. We're in a battle. Keep your eyes on me." And this is the thing that, the fatal flaw that gets him away. He flies towards Liko. Of course, he's after the pendant. That's all he's after. So he flies towards Liko, and that's where the episode ends. So next episode we'll continue onto it will continue on from that. That's gonna be the climax of this little confrontation. I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna see. It's gonna involve the ancient Pokeball and her pendant. We're gonna learn more about it in that episode and stuff. Just basically a lot of stuff's gonna happen. So with this episode, I kind of really didn't do a recap. I kind of jumped around. And that's because like I did at first, I wrote like me recapping the episode like I did last week and the episodes before, but this episode is kind of it's not really the kind of episode that's interesting to recap. Like this episode is basically, like I said, character development for Roy, character progression for Roy and Fuecoco. That's basically what this episode is. So I kind of thought, and nothing really interesting happens, like actual like events really happen until like the explorer stuff happens, which basically is explorers come battle, and they battle Roy, Liko, and Roy and Freed. They come back they actually went to Roy's grandfather's house so they can fix the their ship's still broken, so they go and get the wild Pokemon out. They asked his grandfather at first what to do, and then they come up with getting the wild Pokemon from the previous episode to help out and fix the ship, because Orino, I hope I'm saying her name right, Orino can't do it. She isn't able to fix it on her own. With her Pokemon, she's not able to do it, so they call on the wild Pokemon, and they end up fixing the ship before Roy starts battling. But besides that, not really anything major happens. Like, my favorite part of the episode, though, is definitely the Liko and Roy's moment on the ship at night, where they have a little, heart-to-heart, They, Liko's able to relate to Roy, how he's feeling right now. I really do like that moment. And, yeah, like, I didn't really want to recap this episode like that, like I did last week. I kind of recapped what happened. This week, I kind of jumped around and stuff, because it's just not that interesting of an episode. Like, it's okay. It's all right episode. Definitely the weakest from what we've got, but it's not bad. I won't say it's bad. I'll probably say 6, 7 out of 10, like that, something like that. But I just didn't think this episode was too interesting to recap, so sorry if I'm jumping around too much. But yeah, this episode is okay. next week is the big one. It's gonna be the big climax of this Explorers thing. We're gonna see what happens. They'll probably come back though. Like it's definitely not the end of them. But this is the climax of their current confrontation. So that'll be the climax. We're gonna get it's gonna be basically a battle episode. So I'll definitely recap that one since it seems a lot more interesting. So let me think of some stuff I may be forgetting that are important. Let me think. Nothing too important. Fuecoco is revealed. He looks up to free Charizard, which comes up later in their battle, and that also motivates him. It also motivates it. Let me think. What else is important to mention? I think that's it. Besides the character moments, like I said, the only real important part of this episode is the explorers coming back. That's really it. The rest of the episode is characters. Like, definitely the characters carry the episode. Besides, because nothing really happens, nothing really interesting really happens until that happens. So definitely the characters carry it, and they're good. Like the moments are definitely good. So yeah, like I said, if I had to rate the episode, I give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like it's okay. It's definitely the weakest that we've got. I definitely think so. Animation and story wise, like it's just fine. Like the episode's just fine, right? But yeah, next week will be the big one, the big climax. Can't wait for that. And definitely we have a lot more coming up after that. Kino Fire coming up. So it's fine if we have a little one downer episode because we know what's coming. We know all the heat that's coming. So I can't wait. So yeah, like I said, this episode's okay. Next week's the big one. I'll definitely recap that, give my thoughts on that too. I'll review it next week. And yeah, my next video should be the One Piece spoilers for 1083. Those should be coming out tomorrow, I think so, or they might be already out. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's all for me on this episode. What did y'all think about it? Did y'all like it? Did y'all hate it? Do y'all have the same thoughts of me? Do y'all have the same thoughts as me? Which I just thought it was okay. So what did y'all think about it? So that's all for me. See you next time. See you on the next video.